It's like having a band, French band. And these are not in the selected. These are newish poems. This one's called Car Notebook, or Car Notebook. Walking down the street in her office, he's in the middle of cleaning. He's picking his nose. She locks her salon tightly to protect her from the street it watches. And I thought, just as my stories are redundant, so are your expressions. Head bob, because the toll keeper liked our song. I wanted to live in that world. This is what they mean by traffic. Can I show you my ear? A branch fell and a car hit it and the leaves scattered. You got Ringo all charged up and someone's delivering pizza at the next exit. A dog doesn't need to go to college. The shape of this journey is never the same. Each part bloats and shrinks each time. I'm hungry and I can't think, so my intellect is base. George Harrison changes. Not half a tank. Mountainous trees. Yes. Where do I go now? To figure out, let me get over here.
On peut. Carnet de voiture. Descendre la rue dans son bureau. Il est en plein ménage. Il se gratte le nez. Elle ferme son salon double tour pour la protéger de la rue qu'elle regarde. Et je me dis, tout comme mes histoires se répètent, tes expressions aussi. Dodeline, parce que la péagiste a aimé notre chanson. Je voulais vivre dans ce monde. Voilà ce qu'ils entendent par circulation. Je peux te montrer mon année? Une branche est tombée, une voiture l'a heurtée, des feuilles partout. T'as mis Ringo dans un de ses étages et on livre des pizzas à la prochaine sortie. Un chien n'a pas besoin d'aller à la fac. La forme de ce voyage n'est jamais la même, chaque partie enfle et rétrécit à chaque fois. J'ai faim, je n'arrive pas à réfléchir, donc mon intellect est vil. George Harrison change. Un demi-réservoir à peine, arbre de montagne.
Art of constant adjustment. Wet Paris. A little dog afraid of lightning stands up to speak. Hey, Mutt, be brave. I felt an empty spot with all the men standing outside the bookstore. Notre Dame never was so brave. And the river, have you ever been here before? Yes. I was when I was a kid. Wasn't Paris just a man who loved a woman too much? That's how the story goes. I am starving and the traffic is slow. I miss the whole brouhaha about conceptualism because I'm sleepless and corny. Isn't that enough? Must I lay down my heart? I brought my chalice right up to the fountain. Hi, Alice. And I drank.
Paris mouillé. Un petit chien effrayé par les éclairs se lève pour parler. « Hé, le cabot, courage !» J'ai senti un coin vide avec tous les hommes dehors devant la librairie. Notre-Dame n'a jamais vraiment eu de courage. Et la rivière. Étais-tu déjà venu ici avant? Oui, c'était quand j'étais gosse. Paris, c'était pas juste un type qui aimait une femme un peu trop. C'est ce que raconte l'histoire. J'ai la dalle et la circulation est lente. J'ai raté tout le tintamarre du conceptualisme parce que je suis insomniaque et cucu. Ça suffit pas comme ça. Dois-je étendre mon cœur? J'ai porté mon calice jusqu'à la fontaine. Coucou Alice. Et j'ai bu.
G's body. They all want power, and the way they'll get it through magic. They're writing community, and we feel safe as audience. It's weird. I imagine leaning over. Did you work in San Francisco? I realized she worked here trying to make the computer work. The moment between her legs forever, she says what is real. Transmissible form in death or Tibetan letters, as Robert said earlier, made of light or made for pouring it.
Le corps de G. Ils veulent tous le pouvoir et la manière dont ils l'obtiendront par la magie. Ils écrivent en groupe et nous nous sentons en sécurité, nous, le public. C'est étrange. J'ai imaginé me pencher. Est-ce que tu as travaillé à San Francisco? Je me suis rendu compte qu'elle travaillait ici. Elle essayait de faire marcher l'ordinateur. Le moment entre ses jambes, pour toujours, elle dit ce qui est réel. Forme transmissible dans la mort ou les lettres tibétaines, comme Robert l'a dit plus tôt, faites de lumière ou faites pour la renverser.
de France very much. This one's a little longer, gives us some real work. I think this is, it's called Evolution, and I think maybe it's the title of my next book. Something unearthly about today, so I buy a Diet Coke and a newspaper, a version of me, something about me on the earth and its sneakers. And feeling the earth like the earth's furniture, but that can't be true, or like the Coke and the Times that's true for a little while. I'm not the earth's furniture, not entirely, and I seem to want to go about this in the entirely wrong way. My face asked the man at the deli, "Do you know me?" And he clearly didn't answer me enough. "I'll get this," I said, picking up the paper, hoping that he just might know me a little bit more. But not enough to make me feel absolutely true. I'm just not true enough, so it's probably the weather, an overripe September. We're agreeing that the winter will probably be pretty cold. That feels good and true, I thought, talking to Jill, who was my trainer. She shows me what to do, and I feel a little better after that, and I thought, I don't want to be like that poet. I thought, he's just like a prisoner of the planet, and that's what's sad about him. I could say, unlike me, who is like a temporary chair, but I'm actually what's on the chair. I'm using this pen on a purple notebook set up on the ankle of my thighs. My thighs. I've had you since I was a kid. I've known you for so long, even when you betrayed me in the bathtub one night when you were rabbits. But that's because I was going crazy. Is it crazy to be the citizen who's only partially here, like kissing while your eyes anxiously are surveying the room, kissing at a party, but there's nobody there but this person with not so many characteristics, and she will listen so she can continue writing? That's what I like about this act, the sea of blood and consciousness and barely repressed craziness that's singing in my ears only likes one thing, always likes their favorite food. The gulls in my head can do whatever they want, and I can't ever use a wrong word at the right time. This is it, when the earth only wants me this way, ignoring the seagulls and writing. I could stop here because the Coke is so good I want to go further, longer. Where should I go? My foot scrapes against a book, wondering. Today I discovered that to talk about certain things make me sad, so I'll stop. There. My arm rests on a pillow, that feels pretty good. I cherish this time alone. When I go out, I think, why am I here? I like to change the very characters I'm writing in. If I could stop thinking about if you know me, what else could I do? I could go to the movies, but afterwards it would be me talking about what was so obviously wrong. And now I'm picking words, so I've gone on too long. And the gulls came back, and the truck's outside. I know the loneliness of love and the loneliness of being outside and looking out the window when love is gone. But this face that turns and listens in my home and wonders if you know me is lost and will never be found. And something new starts up in my building, a different sound.
Évolution. Quelque chose d'improbable aujourd'hui, j'achète un Diet Coke et un journal, une version de moi, quelque chose sur moi, sur Terre et ses baskets, et l'impression de faire partie des meubles de la Terre. Mais ça ne peut pas être vrai, ou comme le Coke ou le Times, c'est vrai jusque quelque temps. Je ne suis pas un meuble sur Terre, pas complètement, et il semble que je m'y prenne vraiment très mal. Mon visage demande au type de l'épicerie, est-ce que vous me reconnaissez? Et bien sûr, il ne me répond pas. Je vais prendre ça, je lui dis, en prenant le journal avec l'espoir qu'il me connaisse juste un peu mieux, mais pas assez pour me donner l'impression d'être vraiment réel. Je suis juste pas assez réel, ça peut être le temps, un mois de septembre trop mûr, et on pense tous les deux que l'hiver sera sans doute plutôt froid. Ça rassure, ça sonne vrai, je me suis dit que je parlerais bien à Jill, qui est mon coach. Elle me montre ce qu'il faut faire, et je me sens un peu mieux après. Je me suis dit que je ne voulais pas être comme ce poète. Je me suis dit que c'était vraiment comme s'il était un prisonnier de la planète. Et ça, c'est ce qu'il y a de triste chez lui. Je pourrais dire, contrairement à moi, qui suis comme une chaise temporaire, mais en fait, je suis ce qu'il y a sur la chaise. Je me sers de ce crayon dans un carnet pourpre posé contre l'angle de mes cuisses. Mes cuisses. Je vous ai depuis toute petite. Je vous connais depuis si longtemps. Même quand vous m'avez trahi dans la baignoire un soir, quand vous étiez en lapin, mais c'est parce que je chantais dans la folie. Est-ce folie qu'être la citoyenne qui n'est qu'en partie ici, comme quand on embrasse pendant qu'on inspecte anxieusement la pièce du regard? embrassé à une soirée, mais pas un chat, si ce n'est cette personne avec assez peu de traits distinctifs dont elle fera la liste pour pouvoir continuer à écrire. Voilà ce que j'aime dans la chose. La mer de sang et conscience et folie à peine contenue qui chante pour mes seules oreilles, aime une seule chose, toujours comme sa nourriture préférée. Les mouettes, dans ma tête, peuvent faire tout ce qu'elles veulent, et je n'arrive jamais à employer le mauvais mot au bon moment. Et voilà ce que c'est quand la terre ne me veut que comme ça, sans égard pour les mouettes et l'écriture. Je pourrais m'arrêter ici, tellement le coke est bon. Je veux continuer encore un peu. Où devrais-je aller? Mon pied frotte contre un livre perplexe. Aujourd'hui, j'ai découvert que parler de certaines choses me rend triste. Donc je vais arrêter. Voilà, j'ai le bras posé sur un coussin et ça fait du bien. J'aime ce temps passé seul. Quand je sors, je me dis, pourquoi est-ce que je suis là? J'aimerais changer jusqu'aux caractères avec lesquels j'écris. Si je pouvais arrêter de penser à « si tu me connais », qu'est-ce que je pourrais bien faire d'autre? Je pourrais aller au cinéma, mais après, ce serait à moi de parler de ce qui s'en va pour de bon ou pour mauvais. Et voilà que je choisis les mauvais mots, je n'ai continué que trop longtemps, et les mouettes sont revenues, et les camions dehors. Je sais la solitude de l'amour et la solitude du dehors, et le regard que l'on jette par la fenêtre quand l'amour s'est en allé. Mais ce visage qui se tourne et écoute chez moi, et se demande si tu me connais est perdu, et ne sera jamais retrouvé, et quelque chose de nouveau commence dans mon immeuble, un son différent.
Is it better in French? It's kind of relaxing. This is called Lark. Anything could possibly become anything else. It was the condition of this dream. Things could blow themselves right into other things. Not like a collision, but a blend. It was like there was a wind in this universe, and conversion was the rule. I was telling her about the thing ending, and I did notice that who I was talking to was my ex. Not the 2015 ex, but the 2013 one. She didn't seem to know who she was or be particularly perturbed not to be herself anymore. She was simply her, thoughtful, even a little concerned. I guess it got weird when I tried to talk about my feelings. Feelings? She shrieked. She became the most magnificent storm. Not even a being anymore, but a spell, a giant boat rocking roar. I guess it was pretty absurd of me when you put it like that. Eileen, called the voice out the window. She had come with her husband to pick up the strap. Who would want to spend the rest of their life with a fat bearded man? But of course, that could be Brenda herself. I could be this house, or that silvery ceiling lamp, just looking down, my love, that distant car turning, passing. Tiny limbs in the blue sky, planes overhead, my fingers on this pen, being everyone, sighing, turned.
Alouette. Il n'y a rien qui ne puisse devenir quelque chose d'autre. Là était la condition de ce rêve. Les choses pouvaient d'un simple souffle se muer en d'autres choses. Pas comme une collision, mais un mélange. C'était comme s'il y avait du vent dans cet univers régi par la conversion. J'étais en train de lui dire que c'était fini et j'ai remarqué que celle à qui je parlais était mon ex, pas celle de 2015, mais 2013. Elle ne semblait pas savoir qui elle était particulièrement, elle ne semblait pas savoir qui elle était ou être particulièrement perturbée de ne plus être elle-même. Elle était simplement elle, pensive, un peu soucieuse même. Je crois que c'était étrange quand j'ai essayé de parler de mes sentiments. Les sentiments, elle a hurlé, elle est devenue la plus somptueuse des tempêtes, même plus un être du tout, mais un sort, l'énorme râle d'un navire qui roule. Dit comme ça, j'imagine que c'était plutôt absurde de ma part. Eileen, m'appelait une voix par la fenêtre. Elle était venue avec son mari pour récupérer la sangle. Qui pourrait bien vouloir passer le reste de sa vie avec un gros barbu? Mais bien sûr, ça pouvait être aussi Brenda elle-même. Je pouvais être cette maison, ou ce plafonnier argenté surplombant mon amour, cette voiture distante qui tourne et passe. De petits membres dans le ciel bleu, avion au-dessus, mes doigts sur ce stylo, étant tout un chacun, soupirant, tourné. I have missed Yes, I do have
There's a couple of years, right?
Yes, I do have the use.
Okay, cool. So this is the first year. And I think you should slightly know that it was addressed to a computer.
That's great.
You. After all these years, you should know my font. You should know where like the numbers go in the middle. What I say? There's so many of you. Why don't you talk? Each time I have to click and press. What's the use of being famous?
Toi. Ah pardon, oui, enfin bon. Je savais pas que c'était adressé à un ordinateur. Addressee was a computer. So.
Gender.
No, but it's just, should it be tu or vous? And I have vous.
Great.
Après toutes ces années, tu devrais connaître ma police de caractère. Tu devrais savoir que les numéros vont au milieu de ce que je dis. Vous êtes tellement nombreux, pourquoi ne parlez-vous pas à chaque fois que je dois cliquer et taper? Ça sert à quoi d'être célèbre? I need to work on that. Yes.
It's called you. This is not addressed to a computer. I'm bravely eating my croissant. That'll translate really well. How's my pronunciation? I'm bravely eating my croissant at everyone. I'm living on my wetboard. I'm living on my money. Limits set and the lights lower. I worship the blue marks on the hydrant. How like the name of a flower.
Toi, courageusement, je mange mon bagel au nez de Courageusement, je mange mon croissant au nez de tout le monde. Je vis à la main, une belle main. Je vis sur mes réserves d'argent et les lumières plus faibles. Je vénère les marques bleues sur la bouche à incendie, tellement nom de fleurs. Yes.
Because I have been reading from the selected a lot, so reading a lot of old work, and so then I started to think, what if I just wrote new old work? This is called Notebook 1981. If you like it, I'll make more. There was a story about Allen Ginsberg, like remember people in his office, the joke was, Allen, can you write more 50s poems? I was so willing to pull a page out of my notebook a day, several bright days, and live them as if I was only alive, thirsty, timeless, young enough to do this one more time, to dare to have nothing so much to lose and to feel that potential dying of the self and the light as the only thing I thought that was spiritual, possible, because I had no other way to call that mind. I called it poetry, but it was flesh and time and bread and friends frightened and free enough to want to have another day that way, tear another page.
Carnet, 1981. J'avais tellement envie de déchirer une page de mon carnet, un jour, plusieurs belles journées, et les vivre comme si j'étais tout juste assez vivante, assoiffée, infinie, jeune pour le refaire une fois encore, oser ne plus avoir grand-chose à perdre et sentir la possibilité de la mort du moi, en pleine lumière, comme la seule chose que je pouvais croire spirituelle, possible, et comme je n'avais aucune autre façon de nommer cet état d'esprit, je l'ai appelé poésie. Mais c'était la chair, et le temps, et le pain, et les copains apeurés, et assez libres pour vouloir avoir une nouvelle journée comme ça, déchirer une nouvelle page.
You should get that. Television.
Yes, I do.
I guess I'm very attached to the small boats moving across the deep blue sea in a world much older than ours, but maybe the same. It speaks to me, the smallness of the boat, the bigness of the night. The shot is wide, and I somehow feel close. I want to speak this enormity to you. I feel like that, or I sing like that not modern or loose at all. I'm loose like a tiny boat in a wide cove, opening out into a bigger body of water. I relish the small ripples like lines that hold my boat. It's so quiet in the morning. I imagine myself seen, and what's seeing me is a forlorn love. Can you understand this at all? It's kind of lost in a color or a tone, something really old and bound up with everything in the moving picture. And then I am gone. It changes into day or a cartoon, but for the stretch of that voyage I am known.
Télévision. Je crois que je tiens beaucoup au petit bateau qui traverse les profondeurs d'une mer bleue dans un monde bien plus vieux que le nôtre, mais peut-être semblable, ça me parle. La petitesse du bateau, l'immensité de la nuit, le plan est large, et je me sens comme proche. Je veux dire cette énormité pour toi. Je me sens comme ça, ou je chante comme ça, pas moderne ou flottante du tout. Je suis flottante, comme un frêle esquif dans une vaste crique qui donne sur une plus grande étendue d'eau. Je raffole des vaguelettes, comme des lignes qui retiennent mon bateau. C'est si calme le matin. J'imagine que l'on me voit, et ce qui me voit est un amour vain. Tu arrives à comprendre ça ou pas? Ça se perd un peu dans une couleur ou un ton, quelque chose de très ancien, et lié à tout le reste dans l'image mouvante, et puis je suis parti. Ça devient le jour, ou un dessin, mais dans l'intervalle de ce voyage, on me connaît. Yes.
My mother's 95, and it seemed like she was going to die this fall, but she didn't die, so she's become a subject. Failed appointment. I don't know why I keep doing this. It's like it's a microphone or something. If I thought I couldn't write in you ever, throw her out. I did. Time for something new. Your short, broken self requires a brand new weapon, skinny old lady. Ankles, nobody sees them. You are my private furniture. We're shocked at her ass, and a bill is stuck to the wall with a knife. At least once we joked about piggies. We were her kids and pretended to care about other people's hearts.
Rendez-vous manqué. Rendez-vous manqué. Si je pensais ne pouvoir écrire en toi, jamais, foule à dehors c'est fait. Besoin de quelque chose de nouveau. Ton petit moi frêle exige une arme toute neuve, vieille perche, cheville, personne ne les voit, tu es mon mobilier perso, nous sommes choqués par son cul, et un billet pointé au mur par un couteau. Au moins une fois nous avons blagué sur ses doigts de pied, nous étions ses enfants, et feignions de nous intéresser au cœur des autres gens. Yes.
Called Western Poem, and it's Western by way of Wales, kind of. Like a particular kind of Welsh nature poetry that's like gnomic. I encountered it like 50 years ago in college, and then I moved to, or got a place in Marfa, Texas, and understood the Welsh poems finally. Western poem. Purple clouds, my doubts. Iridescent cream, my loss. Purple mountains, my friends. Buzzards circling overhead, my hopes. Birds singing, jagged, singing my indecision. Wrecked skinny tree, my past. Photographs I sent home, my indiscretion. Amber street light, my reading. My appetite, my appetite. Red striped sky, my confusion. Bright yellow, gray sky, my ardor. Car lights, my commotion. Telephone pole, my wishes. Stop sign, my fear. Family dollar, family dollar. Courthouse, my opinion. Black cloud, white sky, hesitation. Black cloud, white sky, bliss. Blinking signals, my intentions. Black mountains, too many suggestions, skipping white lines, my attention. A young cowboy first saw the lights, a young cowboy first saw the lights. The horns on your van, my defensiveness. That old train, my dreams, that old train.
Vous pouvez applaudir parce qu'il faut que je cherche le poème. Excusez, je l'ai traduit, il est juste quelque part par là.
Page missing.
No, I should have. I have circus right. There it is. Poème western. Nuages pourpres mes doutes, crème iridescente ma perte, montagne pourpre mes amis, vol des buses au-dessus mes espoirs, le chant des oiseaux, le chant des oiseaux, un chant zigzag, mon indécision, frêle squelette d'arbres mon passé, photographie, je remballe mon indiscrétion, dans la rue la lumière ambrée, ma lecture, mon appétit, ciel strié de vermeil, mon trouble, ciel gris, jaune vif, mon ardeur, phare de voiture, mon agitation, poteau téléphonique, mes souhaits, un stop, ma crainte, famille de l'art, tribunal, mon opinion, nuage noir, ciel blanc, hésitation, nuage noir, ciel blanc, joie, clignotant mes intentions, montagne noire, trop de suggestions, ligne blanche discontinue mon attention. Un jeune cow-boy a le premier vu les lumières, le klaxon de ton van, sur ma défensive, ce vieux train, mes rêves, ce vieux train.
Circus. Jill tells me about the show. I'm just going to work with that. Jill tells me about the show she is making, and I thought, it's like flowers. What kind of flowers am I making? I think that I met you at work. I'm home now, and think, what kind of flower am I making? How do we find the flower? Use the flower, spread it around. I thought summer's a good growing season, or is summer just hot? I could bring you my flowers to your flowers, always afraid when I show that maybe I'm making a funeral. Whatever I am when I show it around. I love your flowers. A fingertip has so many hands, and you love mine. How is it to love for once and see it all, now to be so afraid of loving and dying? Mounds of flowers go to my head. I love you inside there, also out to show. I want to bring you so many flowers.
Cirque. Jill me raconte le film qu'elle prépare et je me dis, c'est comme les fleurs. Quel genre de fleurs est-ce que je fais? Je crois que je t'ai rencontré au travail. Je suis à la maison là et je pense à quel genre de fleurs est-ce que je fais. Comment trouve-t-on la fleur? Se sert-on de la fleur? La dissémine-t-on? Je croyais que l'été était la saison où les choses poussent bien, non? Et l'été, c'est que chaud? Je pourrais apporter mes fleurs à tes fleurs et toujours cette peur quand je montre que je suis peut-être en train de faire un enterrement. Ce que je suis, quoi, quand je montre tout ça. J'aime tes fleurs, le bout d'un doigt a tant de mains et tu aimes les miennes. Ça fait quoi d'aimer pour une fois et de voir tout ça là, d'avoir si peur d'aimer et mourir? Des monceaux de fleurs me montent à la tête. Je t'aime là, à l'intérieur, dehors aussi, histoire de montrer que je veux t'apporter tellement de fleurs.
So these two are off, there's a little one and a bigger one, and these two are off the charts. This is called Kitchen Holidays. The kettle whistling and I'm peeling an orange I'm going to finish in the air of this wild horn. And I splash the boiling water into the French press, splattering water, splattering greens. I'm such an oaf. I wanted to be here with you. And this one is called A. And it was the sculptor, photographer Shannon Ebner did a piece, a long piece about the letter A. And so I was writing an essay about it. But then somehow I sat down and wrote a poem first. And it's sort of full of dogs and piss and other things. But it's called A. A person outside butting up against inside at home, outside one, ringing the streets, the elaborate lighting and the peculiar blocks of the neighbors, their houses and lamps. Pick a letter, any letter, it seems it is broken-hearted, dripping angel giving it all a squeeze. What's got a lot tomorrow, a curtain, a homelessness, hold it all. French pea, porpoise, orange, the letters rearrange themselves. It's impossible to make a plan, any body, auto body, all on your own, make a pea, it was incredible, one dog, my incredible loneliness. I want to roll my genitals in towards a large empty field in which I can say everyone and feel love. The dog sprayed my dog, not hit her quite. I think she squatted, forced out her own rain, terrific performance. I got a lot. By the time I send you my friends, I don't know anyone having sex with strangers, all of you. Tell me, I'm weird in my moment, he explained. Oh, these are just two moments, important. I was in high school too. Which mouth to kiss in celebration. She is going on a diet, then she may get old. I understand you, I understand everyone. Shannon, the singers were down by the lake and you pulled a sword from the water. It was offered by a hand. In the palm of the hand was the letter A. Down the throat of the singer. I wonder what will happen tomorrow. Every day I get on a plane. I miss everyone, meet you in lettered cities. This morning I stood crying. I think it was after I went running. I said, if you can guarantee me I get as much as the men. I'm stuck on your letter. The dog's limbs crossed. People like that. My belly, a soft cushion. I went running this morning straight on his ranch. It's very relaxing to have one of these legal pads. We went to that show too. Why would I, if you felt that way, if there was a house next year, but I never knew when to come? I was sort of excited about you. Okay, I want to be somebody's family, but I'm not. Have your last night of being beautiful or whatever the fuck you're doing with the world. I was going to be a little baby and float off on my tether in outer space. I wish I could talk to someone, I could cry, terrible. It is a little portrait of time dripping. Wait, I've got it on my phone. I don't have the sustenance, the food to be too happy, too long. It's just a made-up thing. I want to go wandering off into the woods like a dog. I'm holding a bunch of grapes like a baby. I'm like a big, slow ad for the failure of love. It's almost too sad to walk my dog. Her bulletin board has a six-pack of white notes. I can't stop you from urinating. It's your vital right. A dog has a yard. It's the world. I will take you out there. Nobody can take care of me. I can take care of everyone. Look at my feet, the toes clutching somebody's sheet. I am a statue in my way. I'm sick of not belonging, babe. Can anyone eat a whole bag of grapes out of sorrow? I can't hear you. I took the dog out to walk and she stood. I said, okay, and I took her in. She doesn't know what she wants in a strange dog position. Now still she doesn't know what she wants. This certainly be the letter I'm being paid to write. A is some human letter, that's a start. Quotes like epaulets on his shoulders. I hit a desk and she's breathing beneath me. In the kitchen, my phone, what should I write? Send off pictures to everyone, message for you if you float by on your ship. That was feeling too sorrowful. I mean, I just like that poem, but walk out that way. Okay, this is old. It's called Wax and Wane. It's good that every part of the mic is mic. Like a John Cage thought. Wax and wane for, is it on? Hello?
Yep.
Doesn't, really?
It's okay.
Maybe that's better. For Barbara. The stars are glowing tonight. Does this sound on? Yeah? Louder! The stars were glowing tonight like all the paranoia in the universe. The air was chill, though it's early March, but that makes sense. Doesn't it? Doesn't it? And a $5 bill is cold upon my ass, my blood is cold, footsteps shattering the stairs up to my level, then past it. I only want a place on the line. I don't want it to stop with me or start with me. Really, I don't want it to know I'm here at all. I only love what finds me invisible and touches me deeply. Cold does that. And that's how I love the vanishing winter. I used to count breaths in the night. One night I counted the church bells falling into a marsh and growing silent. It was 2 days before I discovered boys, and tonight is 2 days after. I feel like a woolen sock on the line, rippling. The season doesn't care about me, and I'm using it without its permission. It's the new God, the one that doesn't know about me at all, who misses me in movies, restaurants, who doesn't count my wheels spinning, who could count silence. That's the one I love. Loneliness sharpens into something sweeter. My sadness is sharpening themselves. Christian thorns, you bet. Apples, bananas, particularness, which doesn't exist at all, is a bird too big for churches. So churches grow as good as movies, restaurants. Silence is running tonight to get hot coffee, to smoke, to breathe. Everyone is going home to someplace, me too. Love creates loneliness. I never knew that before. Television is what the night eats. I eat some soup, some bread, old black coffee, reheated like favorite shoes. You're like a fireplace I just want to be around. $5 chill upon the ass. I think I'll buy the morning and some of the afternoon. Oh, pink tulips, 2 yellows, the length of this room, peaceful cats, outside it's cold. Damn it, whatever happened to spring? She comes before the other, don't you know? You know, primavera, get it, get it, get it. I can stand aback of anyone I want, man or woman, and anyone who wants to stand aback of me is welcome. In fact, they can stand in front of me if they know how to do it. Do you get it? I think we are an army of trees. When I tripped, I only wanted to sit down. Everything was moving so much. Catholic poets only pray, no matter what they say. If I'm really vain, I could propose to jump back into the pool like it was a room, just like I'm not a stupid feather on an immense wing. Love's taught me a loneliness I never imagined. This side of the hallway's, I don't know, smokier? I always thought I really loved Dante, but now I know what he meant. Mark says 9 represents chaos. Dante thought 9 was the music of the spheres. Mark is a musician, and if you draw a line between those two guys, I would call it history. Hang a sock or two like me. Affluence is holding out $1 and receiving exactly what you want. I call that economics. When I say television, you know exactly what I mean. I call that a modern idea, a word, television. Get it? Let's do it again. Time. Take the word breast, take tit. What gets erotic is which word you prefer. What gets warm is speechless. The cold things are easy to enumerate. Stars, paranoia, ideas under blankets. Kiss my teeth. If a woman wakes up remembering her dreams, and she tells her lover and she doesn't lie at all, and the next day the lover dreams something entirely different, and all day both lovers think about each other's dreams and go and have different dreams the next night, and they just enjoy telling the dreams each morning with their coffee. If a cat nibbles on flowers, I lift it off the table and make it stop because it is ugly. Dreams are some kind of flowers, and when I pour coffee into my cup this morning, for example, and I feed the cats the stuff I wouldn't eat, I go to the bank, drink some orange juice at Binny Bonds, stuff with real pieces of orange in it. I drink a real big glass of the stuff. The New York Post has one article about peace, one about terrorism. A guy in Weehawken is watching the 10 Commandments on television. Boom! A Cuban storefront explodes while Moses is receiving the tablets. Let's call that channel religion or science fiction. Then the New York Post has an article about shaping up. I'm always thinking about that, and I suppose my body reforms accordingly. Lover, lover, here's a flower. It doesn't think, it's like my mother. I wasn't interested in the newspaper, it was just something I needed to hold. All the time I have dreams that could have happened. No more orange juice, or someone turns to me and speaks a line I just wrote, and I wonder if they read a poem of mine lying on my desk, or am I dreaming, or I don't know, maybe there's different flowers in the vase. from when I fell asleep. Well, I don't live alone, so there's no reason to be surprised that different flowers are in the same vase. When I dream nothing extraordinary. That's what I'm trying to say. If something's broken, maybe the cat did it. The wooden counter at Benny Barnes is more interesting than the newspaper, but if I sat here reading the counter, I'd look like an asshole. Reading a little bit from each article, I read like a bird. I used to read like a horse until I went to college. I felt all that knowledge coming at me through a screen. Television fills the silence. I pay my check and leave a tip. The word is at the end. It's the thing's dead body. Words of the baby Bertolt Brecht. Oh, please, pick up your grilled tomato and cheese. Please eat it. I didn't mean what I said. All week long, I've seen nothing but lilacs. Up and down Lexington Ave, St. Mark's Place, through windows of classy restaurants. But there's nothing classy about lilacs. They used to line the trees on the street where I lived. Children in spring bringing home big armfuls, marching up twilight spring nights, carrying purple lilacs home to mothers waiting on screened porches. 19th century flower book says lilac, purple, first emotions of love. It surprised me. I expect death, something melancholic and fading. I am so taken by these flowers these days. Days expanding and shrinking, so I am sure I am no form at all, just your eyes and my stupidity. Some people are so sure they aren't loved, they'll throw themselves to the task of being hateful. If only I could buy some lilacs on a full moon night and run here panting and wild. It'd be something perfect that doesn't count and change. But I grew up where lilacs were free, didn't everyone? So I just watched them all spring in restaurants and flower shops, full and soft as the lights go down, the moon comes up, and another season starts shouldering in. But the purple lilacs are the most beautiful, and I will always love you.